Something that I know I have wanted personally for a really long time in this iteration, and I know so many people will be like, oh my gosh, finally. Um,
Yeah,
the cookie slash pizza slash focaccia slash rustic tart sheet. Let's start
yeah.
there and talk about why it dips up on two sides and how, like, why not four, and how that all came about.
We've had the chat before because
Mm,
ideally we wanted to make a four-sided baking tray,
yeah,
basically, or a shallow roasting pan to start with, and eventually a deep roasting pan. The little issue with that is that we cannot find anyone in Australia to make that, and possibly not in the USA as well.
crazy,
In
hey? Yet, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we're working on stuff, but it could still be technically impossible because we're using 3 millimeter thick, solid, ferritic stainless steel.
Mm,
Now, there's a reason when you see all the other baking trays on the market, they're either super thin steel,
mm-hmm.
and we know about them, or they're slightly thicker in aluminium.
Yeah.
But there's no thick, solid stainless steel one piece baking trays or roasting pans on the market, and that's just because the tonnage required with traditional methods makes it impossible.
Mm.
You can't do it. But we think we got away, and that will have to be for later years. Take a very solid piece of that material,
Ta-da!
and look at that. So we can
Beautiful.
make the ends really beautifully folded up.
And they're so
Uh,
nice to pull out of the oven. I have just loved
yeah,
using mine.
very easy to pick up,
Mm,
and that's all good. What it means though is you can't use them for liquid, of
mm.
course, because they're not four-sided; they're two-sided, which is great for just being a great surface pizzas, as you know, anything baked, cakes, cookies. It's because this stuff is not just uh, nickel free, so you don't have the nickel leaching. It's also because it's so conductive and it browns things so much
Mm.
better than regular stainless steel, and no competition with coated aluminium,
Oh my gosh, no, absolutely not. And in
baking on
fact,
Teflon.
yeah, exactly. And I've used an old, because we do two pizzas in one sitting as a family of three. One boy small, one boy big. It's just you don't get away with one pizza in our house. And
Yeah.
so on the two shelves, and I've rotated it. I've tested doing the SOLIDteknics one on top and on the bottom, and our standard old stainless kick around tray that we've had for yonks. And
Mhm.
the color and the texture of the pizza on our tray, I can say our tray, very excited about that, is
Yeah.
like it's just so much better, and it's so even
Yeah.
all the way around. It's exactly the same. You don't get that like burnt side and then the raw side
Yeah.
and none of that.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, like skillets, like our skillets compared to thin skillets or
yeah.
skillets made from one material. Same with our baking tray. Um, there's something about food in contact with this type of stainless steel or our type of iron, good
Mm-hmm.
iron, that makes the reactions happen a lot better than some layer of nickel-based stuff or some layer of Teflon or anodizing or something else.
Yeah.
More natural. It's
Yeah.
closer to nature, in other words. So there's that, the tray, and that's, I think, going to be anyone who's serious about baking, once, like they say, once they put their stuff on that, they're going to know it's a whole new game.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It is such a good product. It's everything
Yeah.
I ever wanted it to be. It really is.
And I'm so glad you're happy because, I'm no expert baker. I knew it was good, this
Mm,
material for baking, but I'm no expert.
mm.
So to have experts now using the prototypes and saying, wow, that stuff works just like you said,
Yeah.
um, it's a great pleasure for me because if that didn't happen, we couldn't launch it. You
No.
know,
Yeah.
we can't launch anything that's not the best of its kind because we're manufacturing in Australia or the USA. We need to be clearly the best on the market because our prices won't be the cheapest.
Mm.
We're not importing from low-cost countries like everyone else. So we've got to charge. We've got higher labour rates. We've got higher material prices and everything like that. So our prices end up higher. So we better be the best. Otherwise, we got no chance.
Yeah, that's right. But, you know, it's just such a classic example for me of buy once, buy well. Like you literally never, ever in your whole life or your kids or your grandkids or their kids ever need to buy another cookie sheet again. Like you're done. And that's a concept that people find quite hard to move into if they haven't been on this train for a while. But it's the truth.
Yeah. Oh, we're well trained by the marketers now for 2 or 3 generations to be disposable.
Yeah.
You know, it's coated cookware or flimsy cookware and flimsy products of all kinds. We've been trained to just dispose of things. And when we come along and say we've got a multi-century warranty, it makes people laugh because it's so far beyond their experience these days, but they don't know that it actually used to exist quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Generation products. We're just going back to that old thing. And that's why, as you know, Alex, on every product we make, is that turning up?
Yep, nöni, TM, and then the batch number.
That's actually the date, the month and the year.
Yeah, January 2018.
Yeah, so the reason we do that is because we know that pan will be cooking in someone's home.
Yeah, imagine that.
200 years, 500 years time, who knows, 1,000 years, because the only way you can destroy it is to wear through it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's going to take centuries and centuries. So it's a family heirloom.
Yeah.
You're getting started with something that you can pass down, not just passing down a useful tool for the home, but all the history and all the spirit that's gone with generations of cooking great food, and hopefully pass on with some recipes and some good common sense, low tox living advice and things like that to inspire people.
And what I love as well is obviously we've got the gorgeous little Dayas, and as a half Frenchie, these are featured for all manner of things from steamed puddings to panna cottas to, well, that's more Italian, but I'm thinking soufflés, so many different things. And a good soufflé needs good conductivity, so that's very useful. Why were you excited about this one too? Because I wasn't sure whether you would be when I originally talked about them with you, but you were like, no, definitely.
Yeah, well, I think it's because I've seen the French history with the Daya molds too, and I know how much, particularly in the old days, they had the copper, tin lined copper, because copper is a good conductor. It's just you can't put it in contact with food. So they had tin lining on the inside, which is great, but it doesn't last forever, and they had to re-tin them, and you know, it's like that with copper pots as well. But when I knew how good our stainless steel was at conducting, then anything that was traditionally copper made with a coating, we can now make it in solid ferritic no nickel stainless steel and get at least as good conduction, plus all the other benefits of, you know, just zero maintenance and lasting for centuries. So for those kind of engineering reasons, I got excited about it. I'm not a baker, but I knew it would work for the bakers, and it's a beautiful thing in the end.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it so solves the problem of batches of muffins and things where you've got the tray with the set 12 in there, and then your mix only goes, like, say, into 10 of them, and then 2 on the outside are burnt, the 3 in the middle need extra cook time, all those sorts of things. You can put these on the nöni sheet, and then everything just cooks with lots of space around it, and you only fill the ones, like, enough mix for each one, and then you're done.
Yeah.
So that's
super even.
Yeah.
Super even heat, particularly sitting on the tray, you know, it's, everything's the same temperature. And then the walls as well become the same temperature as the top.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing people forget. If you're using something that's more insulating, you'll definitely have different walls to your top.
So I guess if people are interested in this, if it sounds like they might want to give this a go, I just want to speak from the heart on this project and say the fact that you jump in today after hearing us have a chat and reading through the Kickstarter page means that this gets to exist. Like, it's literally not going to exist unless people get behind it.
Yeah, well, and Kickstarter it's a weird thing. It's a new thing, but it's been awesome for us because it does two things. One, it tells us if people are interested.
Yeah.
And if people aren't interested, then sure, we won't make it. Just so happens that everything we've proposed, people have loved, so they've all worked. But if one day we design a dog and no one's going to...
Hopefully it's not these. I can tell you they're awesome.
I think we're pretty safe with these too, Alex.
Yeah.
The feedback we've had, just chatting with our friends, oh man, I think these are going to be our biggest. So, but one day it's possible we might get excited and design something too obscure, too specialist, and just won't get enough people. Yeah. We've had plenty of suggestions from people, hey, why don't you make this? And we say, okay, well, as long as we can sell them for $5,000 each, we can go ahead. It's just not, some stuff just isn't feasible.
Yeah.
But it's feasible enough if enough people pledge their money up front to support when the Kickstarter ends. They don't get billed until the Kickstarter ends, and that's to be sure that everything's working. That's the beauty of Kickstarter. No money changes hands. You pledge with your credit card, but your credit card's not billed unless the project is a success.
Yeah,
that's why there's a monetary goal attached to it. You've got to make that monetary goal because that's how much money you need to do expensive things like make the dyes, and get ready for production and then actually manufacture them. If you didn't have a goal,
people a living wage. Which is something that not a lot of, like, if you investigate cookware and where it's made and factories that it's produced in, there's a heck of a lot of dodge out there. So, this is quality from start to finish.
And we're paying Australians full wages and, it's for manufacturing, it's a pretty good life, Australian manufacturing, and we pay the cost, but that's okay by me because if people are willing, if we design something so good that people are willing to pay that cost, then our factory people are happy.
Yeah.
Our customers are happy. They still get it and say, this is great, I'm going to keep this for generations.
That's right.
So I'm happy.
But what they're also happy about, and something that I love about that whole entry into thinking about things in a low-tox way, in the sense that you're not just thinking about, oh, I want this, it's pretty, it's nice, it's going to do what I want it to do. You think so much more deeply about the impact of something environmentally. You think about the fair trade aspects. So when you buy something, you're buying values. You're literally buying your values. And that means, like for me, I've always been fine to spend extra money on something that's going to last long, that I know people got paid well to make it, that, all the good things.
Non-toxic, sustainable,
that's right,
fair, and all those things.